We are moving on. We have a fully packed day. Our next speaker, we're actually switching topics again. We are now taking innovation off of Earth and looking into the air. Our next speaker thinks drones are awesome, as do I. And not only are they awesome, they can also be useful. She has founded a company that is called Skyqraft. And what they do is that they take drones and they have them fly out all by themselves and analyze like power grids. And they can see things and be like, oh, that tree is too big. And I really, really, really want to hear her story. And she is here today. She is co-founder of Skyqraft. She is Sakina Turabali. Just like the wide wind does, sings a song, sounds like she's singing. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Hello, everyone. Just about a year ago, I Googled, how can I start my own company? On the very first page of Google, I found Antler, a startup generator program. In the program, I met my two wonderful co-founders, Omar and David. Omar has a vast experience in flying drones. So when I first met him, he told me, hey, Sakina, do you know I have a drone of your size? I just laughed it off, exactly like you, and realized. And when a couple of days later, when I met him, I saw the drone and realized, what a tiny person I am. And then realized, oh, wait, the drone is so big, and it's so powerful. And then I asked him a little about the drones, and he said that it's fully battery operated, and so and so. So I got really interested. And then I quickly had a lot of ideas how we can fight sustainability using drones. So 30 years ago, this is how power lines were inspected, using helicopters and people. 30 years after, in 2020, this is exactly how it's done today. Nothing has changed for 30 years. We have so much of tech involved, but no, nothing has done to change this industry. It is not only dangerous, but it is costly and outdated. But most importantly, it is not sustainable. Did you know that helicopters today burn 500 to 700 grams CO2 emissions per year? And that is equal to 3 to 5 times higher than that of diesel cars. Let's talk about the power line industry, which is worth $2 billion today. Take a moment to think how much CO2 emissions the helicopters produce. Okay, let's just take a part of that global market. Talk about Sweden. Sweden alone has 205,000 kilometers of power line. This means the helicopters produced 123,000 million CO2 emissions. And that's just helicopters. I'm not even taking other considerables in account. And we want to change that. We want to make the planet better. And we want to not impact our environment so much. So we want to fly unmanned airplanes, which are fully battery operated, doesn't consume any gasoline, and fly them over power lines and inspect power lines using machine learning to detect any threat to the power line automatically. And you won't believe, but we just need 5 drones to fly over 205,000 kilometers of power lines just in Sweden. So just right there, we have saved a lot of CO2 emissions. So our customers have pictures that they can look in, zoom out, zoom in. We have also 360 video that they can look at, all at the ease of their office or home. And then, these are all geotagged, and they can quickly go in and fix the problem. This is one of our smart algorithms where we see that detection of poles are done. So, what I really want to envision in this company is to provide the customers with a better grid uptime, and most importantly, to reduce the blackout fees. Today, a giant in Sweden paid 144 million Swedish kronor in just blackout fees for the Alfrida storm. I'm sure most of you have heard about Gudrun, Alfrida. They really damage our grid. So I really want to change that. And this is why I do what I do. This is why I stepped into this industry, to change this. And I come from a country, I come from Sri Lanka. It's a very, it's not a developed country, you know, like Sweden. Over here, electricity is luxury. Over there, it's not even a basic. I remember those nights, 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours on a row without electricity. And it's quite warm there. And it really affected me. And it affected the society. It affected schools. It affected hospitals. People were dying. And they actually depend on generators. And electricity is not something they have, so obviously they have to depend on something that, you know, could keep their hospitals and day-to-day operations running. So, I mean, that is not a sustainable alternative either, right? So I wanted to change this, and I wanted to take my first step towards saving our planet. And Greta was definitely right. The world is worth fighting for, and I'm going to do that. Thank you.